Welcome, ladies, to the Real Estate Investor Show, providing inspiration, strategies, and insight to empower women investors to live balanced and financially free lives. Now, here are your co-hosts, Liz and Andresa.
Welcome back, ladies. This is Liz.
And this is Andresa.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Investor Show, MINISODE edition. Woohoo! Little woohoo to get you engaged, because this is like a quick 10-minute or less topic and something to bring into your world and something to us actually take action on, right? Because we want you to move the needle. And our mission, our passion is to help you empower women globally to live a financially free and balanced life and move you along that journey to help you do that. So that's what we're all about in this community and our podcast. And Andresa is going to be talking about a very important topic when it comes to short-term rentals, which I know is a hot topic in our world of investing these days. So what are we talking about here today, Andresa?
We're talking about how can you save time and trouble by vetting your guests. Well, Liz, I've been doing Airbnb since 2011, 12. And I have some baggage with me when it comes down to vetting your guest. And one thing that I would say is, if you don't have a vetting process in place, believe me, you're going to be matched with somebody that is going to cause so many troubles. And many times I see those horror stories, right, about damaging the property, creating trouble with the neighbors. The list goes on and on. I always say it needs to be a match for both sides. And I have the right to say we are not a good match and move along. So I'm going to share with you guys here what I have done in the past that has worked. And again, this is my experience. Take it if it fits your criteria, throw it out if it doesn't. There's no right or wrong. It is just an option that I'm putting out there for you. So the first thing is your property description. Make sure, when you go to the MLS to check properties, we are all investors, so you know how to describe a property. Do the same thing there. Make sure you're describing all the amenities of the properties. But I also encourage you to describe the perfect guest. Right? In my case, I have a property that is geared towards family with kids, family with a dog. So say it there. And if it is not, say it too. Say it that you do not allow, you love pets, but unfortunately we don't allow them. Do not just cross the option that you don't allow pets, but put it everywhere. Put it everywhere, because people might miss it and they might bring a pet to your place that it's not allowed. So have it all the descriptions laid out as clear as possible and try to answer. Right? We have those places where we can put the check-in information that you can also repeat those information there. But when people are researching our property, they are also looking like for parking, for example. So on your description, put information about parking there. We have a parking spot, or extra money for parking spot, or on the street. Or in my case, the property was located in Center City, but there was a public parking lot right across the street, right? And there are fees, and I have those fees over there. So it's very, very, very clear. Early or late check-in, what's your policy on that? Extra gas fee. Many times those are just check marks that you're going to add, but I encourage you to add that to the description as well. Okay. That is the first thing. The second thing is the standard questions for inquiries. So inquiry is just when somebody is inquiring about your property, not necessarily already booking it, right? So they are asking questions. I have the standard questions that I ask them. So when they are talking to me, I already know this up front. One of them is like, smoke. Is there anybody that smoke? And I define what smoke means. Guess how I know that, right? I describe it as industrialized, natural, electronic, whatever.
That's interesting. Did you always have that, or is that something you did?
No, I did not always have that, because I don't know if in 2011 or 12 they had those what's called electronic cigarettes and that
I
thing.
forget what it's called. Yep.
It was not a thing.
Yep.
And one time my neighbor said, your gas is smoking pot here, and I'm getting high on my head, right? So it's like, okay. And then they said, well, you didn't say natural, right? So it's like, oh my gosh, whatever. So
great tip.
add those descriptions over there. That is very, very important. Another trick though, I always say, are you expecting to receive guests over? Right? And if you do, I need to be informed, because there is a camera outside, right? And inside, I don't have the camera, but outside. So just giving you a heads up. And why I'm saying this, because this is right off the bat. They cannot say, you never told me about that. You don't allow more people. I'm okay with 2 or 3 people. I'm not okay with 15. You know what I'm saying? Guess how I know, right? And also extra gas fee. Right? If somebody's going to sleep over, that's a guest. Therefore, I need to have that person's information and extra pay for that. So all those questions, you just have it as standard, right? Do you have a pet? Is different than, do you intend to bring a pet with you? It's different, because they say, I might have a pet. Yeah, I have a pet. And you say, okay, so I assuming you're bringing your pet, or I don't have a pet, but my guest has a pet, and you didn't ask that. So do you or your guests have a pet, and will the pet be coming with you? So there's a lot of interpretations that we want to get out of the way before we even accept it. Right. And then you have the part that you have those clarification questions. And this is when you can see the red flags or not. And I mentioned this in a previous podcast where I talked about the 3 worst things that can happen to your Airbnb. But those are clarification questions. If you still don't have like a clear answer, you have the right to go ahead and say, hey, I see you don't have any reviews. Is this your first time with Airbnb, or have you booked under another guest before? Do you have any public reviews? You're vetting them, right? Somebody that just joined Airbnb right now in 2020 and is booking for your first, my radar goes higher when that person does not have any reviews. I need more information than somebody that already have 45 reviews. That's very obvious. If I get an inquiry from teenagers, right, or underage, not teen, but underage, I would say, I want to know who is the adult that's going to be there, is going to be responsible for all of you, right? Because even though they say, oh, we're not planning on doing parties or drinking, listen, at the end of the day, it's your property, your liability. Are you willing to take that or not? My answer is no, straightforward no. If there's not adult responsible for it, that's going to sign a contract. That's my last thing over here. I have a standard contract, right, where all the guests, I have their names and their emails, and everybody staying at the property needs to sign it electronically. And you might say it's a freaking pain in the ass. It might not. I believe it had allowed me to save a lot of trouble. I never had to do any repairs on the property because it was all established there. And no, I'm not able to share that contract with you because it really, really varies.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to check with your attorney and draft something that works for you, and then establish again all the rules, everything that is on the property. So you're very tight, your liabilities, what happens if they break that, all of it, it's there. So there's a check-in date, check-out date, all of it is laid out. And there are people that say, great, send it to me. They sign it, good to go, no problem. You're going to see people really pushing back on that, right? I love when the attorneys do it. And I talk to them and say, you know why I'm doing this, right? So if you want to talk clauses, we can totally talk and modify, but either you sign it or you don't. So that's pretty much it. I'm not taking in all the liability on me. I have proper insurance as well for that, but I want to make sure we are all on the same page. And if that does not happen, there's no check-in information that goes to that person. There's nothing. In order for something to happen, that contract needs to be signed. Otherwise, there's no check-in information. There's no code. They cannot get inside the property. This has saved me a lot of time.
Yeah,
A lot.
huge.
Just getting them out, vetting them way prior. And I do say, by the way, on the description about the contract. So that it's not like a surprise that I tricked them into it. It's there. So if they see it and I can point it out, it's on the description. And if it's not a good match, that's fine. I'm cool with that. But I will tell you that was never a reason why I didn't have somebody like my property booked. Quite the opposite. Right. People know that I'm running it as a business and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And if it is not a good fit, it's not. So you're good.
I love that. It's great criteria. And it's great to say to yourself too. It's like, let's take this time to really put the right pieces in place to avoid the problems at the end. That's so useful for every area of our business. So, so ladies, take something from this, put it into your toolkit as you are embarking on, short-term rentals today or later. Yeah. But great stuff, Andresa.
Yeah, and I will also say, of course, we had it online, right? But then, okay, everybody passed that. You can also save a ton of time if you printed out a very nice folder for them, like hard copy, where the best restaurants. I go even a little further and say, listen, on this restaurant over here, try the creme brulee French toast. I really love that. So I give like very personal, because guess what? I don't want to get a text, or my property manager doesn't want to get a text saying, where do I go for breakfast? What do you recommend? Like all of those questions, if you're getting started short-term rental right now, all of those questions are great. Do something with them. Put them in your SOPs. Put them on your description, on the folder, on all the recommendations for restaurants and stores and entertainment, all of it. Online and in paper, both, and save a ton of time and have so much fun doing this, and I make a ton of profit at the end of the day, right? That's what matters. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Make it a great day. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this podcast and want to receive updates on our next interviews, go to our website, therealestateinvestor.com. There, you can subscribe to our show, become part of our investor community, and get updates on upcoming episodes.
If you like our show, please share it with other women who would benefit. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, we encourage you to take one action as a result of today's show and put it into motion so you can live both a financially free and balanced life. Thanks for spending time with us.
Ciao.